Looking at the measures for the Mauritius International Financial Centre. Protected Cell Company and a Variable Capital Company. The scope of variable capital companies has been extended to include family offices and wealth management. No recourse to assets of other cells or non-cellular assets of the Protected Cell Company by the MRA for the recovery of tax owed. Each sub-fund or special purpose vehicle of a variable capital company will be treated as a separate entity for the purpose of recovery of tax. Partial exemption threshold. Increase of 15%, that is, from 80% to 95%, in the partial exemption threshold for interest, income earned by a collective investment scheme or a closed-end fund created in Mauritius. Virtual asset and initial token offering services. Virtual asset custodian will be allowed to hold custody of securities tokens, empowering the FSC to make rules for the setting up of a virtual asset register on virtual asset service providers. A virtual asset service provider and an issuer of initial token offerings will have to report annually to the MRA a transaction made by an individual, a societe, or succession exceeding 250,000 rupees or transactions exceeding in the aggregate of 2 million rupees in a year. As regards to a corporate, the threshold will be 500,000 rupees and 4 million rupees respectively. Ease of doing business. Implementation of a unique identification number for each firm and company by the Economic Development Board, Corporate and Business Registration Department and the MRA to be utilized by all government agencies. Consolidation of Mauritius International Financial Centre. The introduction of a wealth manager and family officer license to private banking. New framework to support the licensing and operation of electronic money institutions. Securities Act. Making Mauritius more attractive for funds domiciled locally by permitting such fund structures to invest in loans or similar debt instruments such as bonds, fixed deposits, debentures, and other securities. Companies Act. The Companies Act will be amended to clarify that service address of a company has to be in Mauritius, establish a time limit of 1 month from the date of resignation or death of the last remaining director for shareholders of a company to appoint new directors, failing which the Registrar of Companies will remove that company from the register. Require company to send its annual report to shareholders at least 21 days instead of 14 days prior to the annual meeting. Enable a company to send its annual report and financial statements electronically, coupled with a right for shareholders to request for a hard copy of the documents, and provide that a meeting of shareholders and voting may be done in such manner as the Registrar of Companies may approve. Financial Services Act. The Financial Services Act will be amended to provide that the FSC can enter into arrangements and extend assistance to a foreign supervisory institution if that institution satisfies a relevant confidentiality requirements imposed by the FSC, require moneylenders to comply with any requirements of the FSC instead of prudential requirements, align sanctions for non-payment of administrative penalties with that of non-payment of license fees, provide for the delegation of the Chief Executive's power to issue directions for the purpose of an investigation, remove the Chief Executive as a member of the Settlement Committee to avoid possibility of conflict, enhance the role of management companies with respect to ensuring compliance of their clients with relevant laws, clarify that the issuance of a certificate of good standing is also applicable to authorized companies, provide for the electronic filing of documents by licensees, provide that recovery of annual fees and late charges due to the FSC will not be time-barred to enhance recovery capacity of the FSC, and empower the FSC to make rules on obligations and responsibilities of holders of a management license. Ombudsperson for Financial Services Act. The Ombudsperson for Financial Services Act will be amended to exclude financial services not licensed by the BOM and the FSC from the purview of the Ombudsperson for Financial Services.